Video games. They've been a crucial part of my life since I was 3. As a thank you for 100 subscribers, today I'm gonna be ranking my top 10 favorite video games of all time. The one rule with this list is that I'm only gonna be doing one game per franchise, because if not, most of this list, if not all of it, will be Mario games. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Creeper. Oh man.
There's a reason why Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. The amount of creativity Minecraft has is practically limitless. There's always a good reason to come back to Minecraft, no matter if you want to play in survival mode and try to survive, or you just want to build something in creative mode. It does get boring after a long playthrough, but as long as you have an active imagination, that really doesn't matter.
Pikachu, I choose you! Go!
Sometimes you can't beat the original. Enter Pokemon Red and Blue. Yes, the story might not be as crazy as later games, but it doesn't need that to stand out, and that's what makes it special. It's honestly a miracle that this game is running on a Game Boy at all. Even though the turn-based combat was nothing new at the time, what was new is capturing these monsters and training them for yourself. I know what you're thinking, why is this game not higher? A lot of you know me as a Pokemon fan, but recently I've been trying to put my Pokemon bias aside when it comes to ranking videos.
Banana Slammer!
This has to be the most biased ranking so far, since this is the first video game I played, but come on! Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest is one of the best platformers ever created. The graphics still look gorgeous to this day, and the soundtrack slaps hard. The controls are smooth, the boss fights are fun, the level design is unique. I mean, come on! What's there not to love? The only reason, and I mean only reason, it's not in the top 5 is because I don't want to be biased. Final Fantasy VII is one of the most revolutionary RPGs of all time. However, it hasn't aged well, so I'm gonna be choosing the Final Fantasy VII Remake instead. Holy crap, talk about an upgrade. This is one of the best looking games I have ever seen or played in my life. Even though it says remake in the title, it's more like a sequel that takes place in an alternate reality. And yes, I'm placing this at number 7 just because it has 7 in the title and I thought it would be funny. The soundtrack is amazing as usual, and the story is top notch. Seriously, this is the best RPG I've ever played. We're only at number 7 and we're already getting in the masterpiece territory, so this is about to get good.
Spider-Man?
If you know me, I am a massive fighting game fan, and it's easily my favorite genre. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. This game just oozes with charm that most other fighting games can't replicate. You have a massive roster without a single dud in the entire roster. Excellent character choices from both Marvel and Capcom respectively. You even got some obscure choices like Super Scroll and Taskmaster. The insane and flashy hyper combos which are always so satisfying to pull off. I would do anything to get a Marvel vs. Capcom Trilogy collection. Please, for the love of God, bring this franchise back. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is one of the funniest games I've ever played, but also one of the most well-written stories. Like this scene where CJ is grieving over his mom's murder. And Big Smoke is one of the best villains in video game history. Like, you legitimately think he's a good guy until you realize that he was in on CJ's mom's murder, but he covers it up so well that it's very easy to sympathize with him. Like, you think that he's there to help solve the case of CJ's mom's murder, which is what makes him one of the most shocking plot twist villains in video game history, and kinda terrifying because of how realistic it is. The cutscenes in this game are some of the best cutscenes I've seen in video game history. Not just because they're really funny, but the story is so well written that you feel sympathy for most of these characters. They could either be criminals, they could either be average day citizens, they could be part of the law, you just don't know. They could be part of the mob, you don't know until you know.
Gotta go fast.
Out of all the Sonic games, it was hard to pick one because I've been a fan of Sonic forever, but ultimately I had to go with the best 2D Sonic over the best 3D. And that choice being Sonic Mania. Holy crap. This is everything I expect a Sonic game to be. You have excellent soundtrack, you have an amazing level design, excellent art style. This is everything you could want out of a 2D platformer, let alone out of a Sonic game. I honestly don't know how they're gonna top this unless they can do a Sonic Mania 2. So Sonic Superstars was alright, but it ain't Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is just unbelievable. The boss fights are fun. You have a boss fight that is a reference to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That is awesome. There's no Sonic game that is more creative than Sonic Mania. I can tell you that right now.
Excuse me, princess.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is almost too good to be put into words, but I'm gonna try to anyway. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has one of the best, if not the best story I've heard in a video game, period. And that goes for all the other Zelda games in the series too. This is one of the few Zelda games that actually made me cry with how amazing its story was. The fact we had to wait 5 years for this game, it was well worth the wait. It has more freedom than Breath of the Wild, which I didn't even know was possible. This game might have the most freedom out of any video game I've played. Like, you can basically do whatever you want, just like in Minecraft, but with actual story, plot, and lore.
Here we go!
Super Mario 64 is not a game. It's a work of art. A beautifully crafted 3D adventure that is unlike anything I've ever seen. From the big details such as the soundtrack, to the small details like So Long Gay Bowser, just puts warmth in my heart. Super Mario 64 is a perfect game, but if you know me, or if you watched some of my other videos, then you probably already know what number 1 is. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate got me through one of the darkest moments of my life. I was dealing with a traumatic experience that got me in a deep depression, and then this game came out and changed my life forever. The journey that this game brought me through with every single Smash character reveal was legit a religious experience. From 2018 when Inklings were revealed in the new Smash game, to Sora rounding out the DLC fighters, this game could not have been better. And this game will live on as my favorite video game of all time.